Aggravated child abuse. Verdict is to count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. As to the charge of aggravated manslaughter of a child, verdict is to count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson.
And I'll be honest, I didn't agree with the verdict. I saw all the evidence, same stuff that the jury saw. I saw it differently, but they made their decision. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it, but you can go back and talk about it, pick it apart. You could bring in Court TV special contributor Ashley Banfield, who's going to torture me more tonight with this story. It was such an emotional trial. I mean, and usually I don't have that emotional, I try to keep that away from it, but I couldn't in that trial because we lived it. We lived it for so many months down there in Central Florida, and I was absolutely shocked by that verdict. Still today.
Yeah, listen, and you were not alone. A lot of people were shocked. But I do have to say, Vinny, that I wasn't completely shocked in the courtroom. I was surprised, but I thought it was possible. I really did think it was possible, given the case that the prosecutors had presented. They asked a lot of this jury. If they had been a little bit simpler, perhaps my bigger shock was in the child abuse and the manslaughter, but the way the case was presented to them was not for those charges. It was for first-degree intentional murder of a little girl who, up until now, there'd never been any abuse or acrimony or problems. Just a young woman who didn't really want to be a mom every single night, wanted to go out and party a little bit. So, but I digress. But there's news here with regard to this Casey Anthony case, and not just because I've actually got a show coming out on Sunday at 8 o'clock on Court TV, a series starting with Casey Anthony, but because People Magazine is making some news as well. Did you hear about this, Vinny? The movie that was planned for Casey Anthony. This was something that hit the papers last year. You remember hearing about this?
Oh yeah, I had my boycott tweet ready to go on the day it was going to be released. Yeah, I was going to... The bottom line is, we've never heard her story, right? She's never... Yeah. Well, she's never really given her version, because she didn't testify in the trial.
Yeah, and we all thought there'd be some massive, sort of payoff, a payday, Diane Sawyer kind of interview, but nobody wants it. Nobody wants to be a part of that, and certainly no one's going to pay, and I think she wants money. I think she needs a lot of money, and I think she wants the money, and a lot of reputable organizations just don't want to have blood money on their hands, that's for sure. But what's really interesting is this movie. It was a low-budget, unknown, crew that was going to put out this movie, the headlines said last year, and Casey, according to reports, was going to have the entire reins in her hands in terms of editorial control over this movie. And then all of a sudden, the months ticked on, no movie, COVID hit, no movie, no production, and now we're basically being told there is not going to be a movie with this production company. And Steve Helling of People Magazine has yet again, he's just the master at breaking news and so many different crime stories, but also with Casey Anthony, he's done it again. He's got a big breaking story that's about to hit tomorrow, and he was kind enough to share it with us tonight, Vinny, about Casey Anthony and that movie. It turns out Casey is not finished lying to America in bold. Have a look.
So, Steve, what is up with the latest antics surrounding Casey Anthony?
Well, it all started about a year ago when she announced that she was going to put out this movie. It was going to be called As I Was Told. It was going to be her side of the story. And she said she wasn't going to shy away from anything. So it would be have all the racy parts, all the sexy parts, all of that. And so, of course, that got headlines everywhere. Casey's going to be doing this racy movie. But we waited, and nothing ever happened. She had this production company out of North Carolina, and nothing was going on. And then COVID, actually, as nothing was going on, then COVID comes along. And once that happens, the whole thing is dead. It's not going to happen. But Casey isn't just happy enough to say, oh, it's not going to happen. She went on a Facebook page, which I have verified that it was